Today we're gonna be looking at football in a PE setting classroom, focusing on the ninth grade, and we're gonna be using a word splash kind of strategy with our vocab words for this unit. So, what is word splash? Word splash is kind of a collection of words that the students learn over the topic, and they are put into a big collaboration that lets the students see which words they know, which words they don't know, and kind of helps them gain interest into the whole unit and the vocab words and their definitions. They can read the words aloud. Students pick the words that they want with a partner, by themselves, with the whole class, whichever one they would like. And these words come directly from the text that is given to the students and through the technology that we have given to each student, whether that is iPads, Chromebooks, laptops, etc. Football text. So this is just kind of the text that we had came up with. And if we go here real quick, it just kind of dives into what football is. And you can pick things out like, for instance, if I wanted to say the field. So what is the football field? How big is it? How long is it? Stuff like that. You could also pick kickoff. So what does a kickoff mean? And tackle. What is tackling? Obviously, we wouldn't tackle in our PE class for safety reasons, but we could modify that to be safe in our classrooms. And you could pick a variety of words you did know from this text and you didn't know from this text, and you'd put it into your word splash. And what is a word splash? So here I'm just going to kind of show you what a word splash looks like. And if we kind of dive into that, you will see like it can be an adjective, it can be a noun, it can be any type of grammar English word that you don't know or you do know. And it kind of just lets the students be familiar and be able to see what words they know and become familiar with that as they kind of can become sketches of characters that they like. So we'll see in later slides kind of what that looks like as students can have fun with what they intend with their vocab. So in order for students to become familiar with this strategy, we would kind of would introduce it before we even covered the content. So we'd kind of say, this is what we're looking for when we go over these vocab words, and we'd kind of hand it to the students and lay it out for them so that they could get a better idea of what we were expecting them to do throughout this section of the course in this football lesson, and therefore they'd know what we are wanting them to do. And so then the main stage that we are going to be introducing would be, we're going to start small, so we show them a very small portion of what we're expecting of them, and then we'll kind of build on that. So we'll show them maybe just a little snippet of how to start, and then we'll go on to the next part, and then we'll section those two together, and then we'll build off that continuously until we have the whole picture of what we're trying to accomplish for our word splash. These are just a few examples of what we're trying to do. So as you can see on the left, you can see it's a football player throwing a football. Kind of has how he has all his words entitled on the side and kind of in the shape of a football player. And then we have a football helmet and an actual football kind of laid out in the shape of what we're trying to get at. And this shows students' creativity on their words, kind of lets them make it their own of what they want to get out of their own learning, and just helps them spark their own creativity in learning. Rationale. This kind of makes it easier for students, lets them have fun and be creative on what they want to do. It motivates them to learn new words. Maybe they already know some words, but they can dive deeper into what those words mean to them, maybe. And then it sets a clear purpose of what we're trying to have them do in the football unit and what they're trying to strive for in their vocab and learning the rules of the game and how the game is played, because students should not only know how to play the game or perform very well, but they should also know cognitively what they expect and what they should know how to play the game. How would we integrate this into our classroom? Well, WordSplash can be used about any time in an introduction to a new unit, into a new section of the course. And so we would have a new vocab list come out every time we did a sport or whatever, and then we could show what we wanted the students to know out of that. And this can be used at the beginning of the lesson or at the end, kind of just showing what we're covering, or it can kind of be a summarize of what we covered throughout the day. And then WordSplash allows students to hear, see, and discuss about any vocab they may learn throughout this thing. So kind of lets them talk about it with their own peers, kind of hear what the other people have to say. And you can also put the WordSplash up on a screen to have students see and visualize what they're coming up with on their own, kind of have them talk with their peers, take notes, everything like that. And here's just kind of a diagram of how we can build our interest in the sport, so you can have students write in their vocab words, and then it kind of directly translates to the WordSplash, and then you can kind of see it sparks the interest in reading about football. Okay, then you sparked creativity. They use technology. They're using basic knowledge, and then they're taking that to another level to have increased knowledge. So then they're discussing with a partner, they're becoming familiar with the words, and then also again their motivation to read and their interest in the sport increases as well. And how will this strategy help students? Well, we came up with the strategy will help students by helping them comprehend the text better, because they're seeing words they may know or they may not know, and then they're able to collaborate with their peers about what those words could mean to them. WordSplash gives students a chance to kind of discuss what football means to a partner, but it's kind of like you don't want all of the whole book about how to play. You just kind of want a small summarized words on how to play the game, which could really help students kind of be particular and kind of go into a greater detail. And it also allows students to be creative, and most students don't want to just sit back in their seat and learn. They just want to get out and play, but having the students kind of create something on their own, make it themselves, and visualize what they create and how their learning happens, then that is really big on students' engagement. And it helps students become accountable for their learning and their actions and how they want to take part in their own learning. And then how would you assess this? At the end of the lesson or the unit, you could repeat the activity that you did at the start, and then you could just assess on how students learned. So if on the words they didn't know, did they gain the knowledge and progress to fill those definitions out that they had in their vocab words? And then they could also label a football field diagram with a partner by themselves, or then you can have them group whole class, and this will really show how they comprehended the whole lesson. And that is it for today. Thank you guys.